everyone. Hey, Chris.
How we doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Good.
Welcome everyone to Clean Greens Living, broadcasting here live on Rainier Avenue Radio. It is your hostess with the mostest, Queen Bree, and handsome boy Chris.
Chris is here
Handsome
today.
boy
How
Chris.
Chris in the house. Yeah. Yes, Chris.
How are you?
Good.
You want to go to Everybody Hates Chris?
We do that. I like that better, actually.
Chris is here. Okay, I won't respect that. It's gonna be him, boy. But anyways, welcome everyone to Clean Greens Living Live, broadcasting here on Rainier Avenue Radio. We are excited to have you guys here today.
Great show today. Yes.
It's so great that I'm just gonna keep the announcement short. It is weird. Okay, you guys, it's weird. I have to acknowledge this for myself that I can't even see myself right now. I'm over here doing this blindly.
Oh, you look great.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're glowing.
Right. Thank you. But okay, so announcements. Just one announcement that I'm super excited. In just 2 short weeks, 2 Saturdays away, we are having our seasoning opening for
right.
our Clean Greens farm. We are in a business, and I know everybody's been asking, where's my greens? June 29th, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. we will have our season grand opening. I keep saying grand opening. We've had.
Well, it's the opening of this season.
It's the opening of this season. And it will be grand.
It will be grand.
And this year we're doing something different because we've been working on a lot of projects. We didn't get to have our youth meet and greet. So this year we are going to have our season opening with our youth meet and greet, which I think is great because you get to come into the garden where the youth will be working and growing food. And then you get to see the kids, you get to learn from the kids, and then there'll be activities and food, barbecue. So food, activities, music, youth, and you there.
That's right. We're looking for you.
We're looking for you, our community, showing up, learning all things Clean Greens. It will be South Holgate.
Yes, South Holgate. Off of Martin Luther King.
28th and South Holgate.
Yes.
Off of Martin Luther King, behind the MBE Center. Check out our Clean Greens. The post will be going up soon. Apologize for the late notice, but it's 2 weeks. Every time somebody invites me somewhere, I'm like, I need at least 2 weeks.
That's right.
To prepare my mind. We do not need 30 to 40 days to let you know about something. You got 2 weeks to prepare and come show up for our community, our kids, and get your fresh organic produce. So everyone who comes will walk away with a fresh bag of produce.
That's true.
So we'll see you there. All right. So I'm excited. I don't know if our guests are already on the screen or not.
Well, hang on. Before you do that, I want to say happy belated Father's Day to all the fathers out there.
Oh, yeah.
And I also had the opportunity to work the Revival pop-up Juneteenth event at the Midtown Plaza. It was very cool. So shout out to Tracy and everybody who had Clean Greens be a part of that. And thank you to everybody who came and supported the table. And hopefully we'll see you at the grand opening on June 29th. So
yes. Thank you. No, thank you. No, don't apologize. Like, get in there because I can talk. What was I going to say? And then thank you for working on Father's Day. So taking that moment, like Chris worked for Father's Day. I meant to get you a little gifty gift, maybe later.
Oh, it's not too late. So
I got you. I got you.
Yeah.
But your work did not go unnoticed. I think I got an email from somebody, so thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Cool. So and yes, shout out to the Revival. We were there last year.
It was a very cool event.
Yeah, and it's a big event. And
it was.
Donna Moody she's really good at like throwing events and community focus. I just love her.
Okay.
And that's with Urban League.
Gotcha.
So thank you, Chris. Yes, I was so excited. I'm like, all right, Sharks at the beach. For those of you who've been tuning in, and we've been having our special guest host, Jaleel Vester. He's been here the past 3 Tuesdays, 3 months. The third Tuesday of each month, the past 3. And just talking about business, what it takes to start a business, talking about Sharks at the beach. And I was so excited about it. I was so mad I missed it. My car had a flat. But thank God I didn't have to pay for it. They just patched it up. I hope that works. But yeah, so But I was super excited about it, and I wanted to hear. And today we have the winner. Whoop whoop. I don't think we can do her intro music that he kept saying. The champ is here, so we'll just say the champ is here in the building to come talk about her experience in her business. So everyone, I would love if you can give a warm welcome to Jaleel Vester, who is back, and Pat Renfro.
Jaleel, welcome back, Pat.
Thank you for having us.
No problem.
Wicked. The champ is here.
Okay.
Hey, Miss Pat.
Oh my goodness.
All right, so let's give them a recap of like, okay, sharks on the beach, sharks at the beach, sharks at the beach. I have to keep reminding myself. Sorry, Jaleel.
No worries.
Sharks at the beach. Let's just give them a short recap of what it is, what we do, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, all right, and I'm excited for y'all to get to hear from Pat because she's amazing. Her story's amazing, and she gets to tell it to you firsthand. So I'll be succinct in describing the Sharks at the Beach pitch competition. This was our 11th annual, y'all. So we've been putting in work, planting seeds. Look at that clean greens livings. Pun intended. Okay, we've been planting seeds of entrepreneurship for a long time in this community through Urban Impact, through our economic development chapter. And this competition, it literally helps people take their ideas and turn it into businesses. All right. So from ideas to income is the idea. And that's what we do. And that's what Pat did. And I'm excited for y'all to hear her story because we met at Emerald City Bible Fellowship Church. I was talking to, I was given the opportunity, thankfully by Pastor Hunter, to tell the community about what we're going to be doing, giving people the opportunity to sign up. And she came up to me and then it was like, boom, like I need to get signed up. And then we end up circling back later on. And she obviously was a star student. So, but what we ultimately do is within 12 weeks, we take people that apply. This isn't one, we have programs that everyone's just accepted. This program requires application because we're looking for a few things. And we want people that are going to be serious about the idea they're trying to bring to life. And we want people that are going to be faithful in showing up. Mm-hmm. And then we also want to vet, like, what are the business ideas? Because because of our organization and the nature of our organization, we're not able to support everything, but the things we can't support, we'll provide resources for. So Pat applied, Pat was accepted, and she showed up all 12 of those weeks. The first 9 are virtual. The last 3 are in person because we want to give our entrepreneurs the opportunity to practice presenting on the stage and kind of desensitizing themselves to the idea of talking in front of a large crowd, which they did. There were 75 people in attendance in the building, 253 people on the YouTube watching virtually. Wow. And there was a donor that because they watched virtually, they loved what happened. They wanted to give $20,000 to the organization at the end. I kid you not. Right. So it's a very real thing. It's something that we've been doing for the community, but it's a beautiful thing when people can see what's being done and they want to partner with it, not just with their time, but with their treasures as well. So that's what we do. And that's the Sharks at the Beach pitch competition.
Nice. Very Look, nice. I'm just so grateful that I met Jaleel. We met at the business luncheon. And it's just been dropping. Look, I still got my notes in my phone. Okay. But I love that what you guys are looking for, commitment. And what was the other one? Serious.
Yes.
Commitment and serious. I feel like that's becoming a lost art. Oh my gosh. So I love that we're still saying being serious and commitment. Yes. So yes. Okay. So welcome on, Miss Pat.
Thank you.
Now I know you ain't shy because you done talked to probably 75 people, 275 people, right? No, just so okay. So tell us, first of all, let's talk about who you are and what is your business.
Pat Renfro from a lot of places, but Kansas City, Missouri. Lived in Houston for 7 years while my husband was going down. He had Alzheimer's and he passed away in 2020. So I moved back here in 21. I have been here for 17 years and my business is Soul Sweet. Soul Sweet is one word. And the thing about the Soul Sweet that's so awesome is that it just has sweetener in there. There's no sugar. The people who are buying it from me are really excited and have come back and done repeats and that type of thing. It only takes 1/4 of a teaspoon. I've learned so much in this 12 weeks that I never would have brought this product to this stage without this program.
Nice.
No way.
And
No
I-
way.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, I got it. So, so it's just sweetener. So tell us, how did you come up with the business? How did you come up with this sweetener?
While I was in Houston, I, being a caregiver, started picking up weight and I needed to lose it. And I had a friend who was just brilliant. She was just very talented, had enough knowledge about nutrition to do that for me, but she hadn't been certified yet. So she and I got together and sat down. And when we finished the plan that she put me on, which was a keto diet, she served me some coffee and let me have the sweetener. And she said, this is not, I said, I can't have sugar. And she said, I know. But her children are autistic. And she found that when they ate sugar, their functionality decreased. So she removed the sugar from the diet, put this in instead, and didn't think it was a big deal, was just glad to get sugar out the diet. And I said, whoa, this is awesome. So I waited a while and then I asked her, did she mind if I had the recipe? And she gave it to me and I started making it. For the last 4 years. I've been making it and just really didn't feel like it was legal to use it because these ingredients are already out there.
Yeah.
It took me until I met this program and got in it to figure out, hold up. Potato chips are out there too.
Yeah.
There's a million different kinds.
Come on.
Right.
And so once I got free from all that bondage, then all I needed was the guidance to help. But
Nice.
and I went to her and said, you want to do this with me? Well, first I asked her like 3 years ago, would you be offended if I put this on the market? Because the world needs to know about it. And she said, not at all. And so then when I got ready to really do it, I called her again about a month and a half ago and said, I'm really serious. Got the packaging, got this, that. You want to do it with me? She said, you have my blessings, go for it. I don't have any part of it. So that's how
I love that. And I love that you went back for her.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people would do that.
That's real. That's a real one.
That's a
That's
real
true.
one.
It's very
And
true.
I'm excited. Look, this is what I love. Okay, so Clean Greens is all about healthy eating and finding different ways to implement it. And it's not about like just cutting things off. It's how can we start to implement new things as we take things out. And it's right on time. And like Jaleel, we talk about God, and Chris, we talk like this is on point because I'm like you. I'm like, I need to start losing weight. And I want, like, I've been having this whole, like, I need to just detox from sugar. Like, how do I do this? How do I do? And
Bingo.
Boom.
There we
She
go.
done walked up into the
She done walked in
studio
with the
and she
answer,
done gave me a dime back.
I didn't say it. But I love it.
Okay,
though.
in
I
my
love it.
defense, I have to. I got too excited.
I love it.
Oh, there we go. In my defense, I have to say this. I have gotten that feedback over and over and over again from the director of the program to everybody down line.
Right. No. When she passed it to me, I was like, oh, okay. I had to look at it again.
It's not
You
what
know?
it looks like. I'm
No.
trying to change the way I eat, child.
Cool. That's very
But
cool.
no.
But since I've won the money,
Mhm.
I've made a list of the most important things to use it for. And so I wanted to get a trademark to get my name secured. That's going to take about a year. But I also wanted to make sure that I got branding people. One guy's going to build my website and he's a Christian. And so he was like, I know that you are limited on your money and I don't want to assume and I don't want to put you up in, just put you in a real awkward place. So let's just work it out. So and then I have a social media guy. He's not saying all that, but he's so good that I was sitting on the couch crying because I was like, without this program, I would not have been able to afford him. But he said, I'm putting your infrastructure in place the first month and the second month I'm doing postings 3 times a week. And he made me a link, what do you call that? Link tree. And he said I said, yeah, but it's cute right now on the front end. But if you clicked on it, it's going to be all over the place. And he said, that's okay. By the end of July, you won't be all over the place.
Wow.
So just,
look at God.
Yeah.
and so in addition to that, I told them we got to get rid of the dime bags. I've gotten all the feedback. So it still will be, but if you think
it's funny.
I just
cute.
nostalgic. I like the dime.
but it's
But
gonna
this thing, you
be
catch people's eye. with
it's
the
gonna be
dot.
opaque
Yeah.
so that
okay,
it doesn't look
okay.
like.
Oh,
There
okay.
you go.
Okay.
And that will give it a real air of like professionalism. Like, oh, it's
Yeah.
a little opaque thing, would probably tear open type.
Nice.
Okay.
Not yet, not
Not
yet,
yet?
Not
No,
yet.
That's down the
She got
road.
a vision. She got
a
vision.
But you got the vision from being that shark at the beach. Wow.
That's
Tell
right.
us about your experience.
So every week they would just download us with a fire hose of wisdom about business. Every week, more than you could ever really take in, and they recorded it so you could play it back. And then they had these gurus on there who really know business to give us different aspects of it. And then about midway, third way into the program, they gave us a coach. So we had one-on-one coaching for an hour a week. And that was tremendous. My coach, I wouldn't have got the one day we were in a meeting and she said, okay, Pat, she said, I had to change the recipe because erythritol came out last year with some bad news and I didn't want anything like that on my product. And so I said, okay, what do I do? So I did enough research to figure out what to replace erythritol with. And so she said, I said, technically, I really don't even know what the recipe is. She said, well, this week you're going to figure it out. She said, I want you to figure it out, resolve it once and for all. I want you to go and order your packaging, your labels, everything you need to do to bring this product to bear. And then once you do that, buy everything, then we'll price it. And she sat down with me and she was a guru at pricing. And she could say, you spent this much on spoons, this much on labels, this much on pouches. She just did the whole thing. And she said, when you get mass production, you'll get a lot better price. But right now we're dealing with, I was running into Kinko's making labels and that was through the roof,
Right. Right.
So now with the guys that I'm working with, the branding guys and the website guys, they're like, oh no, I have a person you can talk to now, and so you're going to be able to get this for 5 cents a pouch instead of $13 for 50.
Wow.
So it's just, and I made a mistake when I first came out. I thought it was 16th of a teaspoon. And that's what I was telling everybody. And so any customer who has bought from me, I told they get $5 off their next purchase because it's a fourth. It's not a 16th. But once you put that, it's a spoon inside the bag. Once you put the spoon in your coffee or your tea or your yogurt or anything you're trying to sweeten, it may be a little bit too much for someone who really wants sweet. But for most people, the average person wants that spoonful. And it's a fourth of a teaspoon. And it's like, and my sister named it. She said soul sweet because she just felt that's what she feels when she's drinking her stuff with it.
Wow. Oh, that's sweet.
That's
That is
nice.
sweet.
Look, I'm all like, I can't even. I'm like, I got so many. First of all, I'm sitting I'm relishing in this moment of God, right? Because it's like I told you my story, and then hearing your story about how you came through with it, and how you weren't going to even plan on moving forward, but then you found out about Shark at the Beach, and now you're just like, you're ready to roll. And this is needed because a lot of people need to let go of the sugar. Sugar is crack, okay? Because listen,
it's a drug for sure.
It's a drug for
They should
sure.
put that in the dime bag.
Yeah, put that in the dime.
Well, I'm sorry I didn't do the research before this interview, but I'm serious. A guy came up to me during the competition break and he said, I remember when they instituted sugar, he said it's evil. And he said it was political. It was, he said, just look up the story and see. And when I thought about it, I thought I've really got to get as many protections around my product as possible, not because I'm anybody right now, but because when people figure out that they can do something without sugar and it not have an aftertaste, because when you're diabetic, which was my target market, you have to leave the sugar alone if you want your blood sugar spike to stop. And so you'll eat. Well, I'm not gonna do it. You'll eat the other alternative sweeteners with the aftertaste because it saves your life.
Right.
And you'll get so mentally used to dealing with it, you'll just tolerate it.
Right.
But with my product, once you find your sweet spot, you don't have to tolerate it because there's nothing to tolerate. There's no sweets. I've had people tell me that over and over again.
And
so,
that's why I don't use that alternative sweetener because I'm like, it's gross. It's aftertaste.
Yeah.
And so I don't use
not
it.
to mention that some of them, the main ones, have so much crap in it. It's like, did you realize dextrose and maltose and sucralose are the only 3 things in that?
No.
So
Well, I'm about to go look up the story of sugar because I was like, I
Me
know
too.
I'm not tripping because I'm like,
That's incredible.
so I've been down in my water because that's another way that I try to reset, like
Mhm.
not eat that much. But I'm like,
yeah,
this is godsend. And I'm like, look, how much is this package? You
come
know,
on.
$10.
okay, I got you. Come on, because
Okay.
I'm like, I'm over here trying to figure out how we can work this in Clean Greens too. We need to have you come teach a class
Mm.
because
Mm.
one of the
Glad
things,
to.
one of the things that it was created for back in 2017, and I don't think it was going to be this big of a scope of where we're going to,
Mhm.
but it was really just to come into this community and have education around diabetes,
Mhm.
high blood pressure, heart disease. And give our community a better option.
Yeah.
Because when we came around, there was only 2 stores, Red Apple and Grocery Outlet. Grocery Outlet's gross, their produce was gross at the time.
Mm.
I wouldn't have bought it.
Mhm.
And then Red Apple loved them to pieces, loved the food, but it was
Mhm.
expensive.
Yeah, still is.
It's super.
I remember going up there about 2 months ago, and I went to the produce manager, and I said, you know me,
Mm.
and I said, some of this is going bad, and maybe it wouldn't go bad if it wasn't so hot.
Listen.
And he said, I know. He said, but we're small and we don't have the buying power of QFC and those kind of things. So that's why we end up having to charge more because we have to pay so much more. And their service is excellent.
But we love you, Red Apple. No, we love you.
No, but you know,
shout out, but that sounds like an opportunity. I see
like
Breon's brain
like,
looking like clean,
Yeah,
clean, clean,
yeah,
clean.
yeah.
We
Yeah,
got
'cause my
produce.
sister-
We definitely have
My
produce.
sister came from Miami. I mean, my daughter came from Miami about a month ago, and she was sick, and she needed just fruit. I went over there. It was like $5, for the apple or whatever.
Yeah.
And she was like, "They are gouging you in the state, Apple State. What is the problem?" And she had traveled like 4 or 5 different places since then, and she was sending me pictures of apple prices.
Listen.
And then I realized it was Red Apple. It wasn't everywhere,
That's different. So question for you, because I remember when we had our first conversation and the story you told me of a certain person that was in your life, that as you were producing your YouTube videos and making your entrepreneurial strides, they just like gave you this feedback that crushed you to who you are now, super empowered, know your numbers. When I tell y'all, when she was just hustling every week, showing up, asking questions, always giving us feedback. I love that about Pat. She gonna give you her feedback. Like, the fact that she talked to went up to the produce person and told him, "Hey, by the way," I'm like, that is Pat all the way. But it takes that personality, it takes that confidence if you're gonna squeeze the most out of life and get the best out of life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if you could speak to people about just that process of transformation from where you were at the beginning to growing in that confidence to presenting and speaking in front of a live and virtual audience, like, how did you transform?
Just being transparent. It started before the program. When I watched, help me out, y'all, because I get these name things. Okay, the guy that has the studio in Atlanta, biggest one.
Tyler Perry.
Okay, so Tyler Perry came out with his life story in November. And every time I watch it, I cry about a different aspect of his story. But what got me was God told me to start the YouTube channel. Well, I'm not 4 years ago in 2020. He said, I want you to do, he said, I know I'm asking you a lot, but I want you to do the YouTube channel. I want you to finish your book. I want you to go back into consulting. And it was something else he told me to do. And I said, God, that's a whole lot. And, you don't hear from God every day, but I knew I'd heard from him. And so I started trying, and some of that fell off, but the YouTube channel continued and the book continued. And so this year, 4 years later, husband passed away, get my life back. And I just woke up. I was like, Tyler Perry cried out to God and said, God, you told me to do this. What's up? I've done everything. And when I heard that, it reminded me of me because I had given up. I was like, okay, maybe I just imagined he said it. Maybe I was tripping because there's no fruit in it. I really had pretty much given up. And I had stopped recording on YouTube as well because I had knee surgery, and I kept saying, well, I'll get back. And then somebody came to me, gave me feedback. That's what it was. And he said, nobody's watching your channel because you're not doing this right, you're not doing that right. And he wasn't trying to tear me down, but he was. And so so when I got back, he came back, first person to view my thing, and he said, but you need to do this. And I said, you know what? I need you to stand down. because I'm back. I got enough courage to do it. I'm gonna do it. Well, in the meantime, Jacob Collier was a new thrive I had for music. And my sister is a jazz artist from all over the world, and she heard him and she said, oh, he's known for harmonies and stuff like that. So I said, well, if she knows him, she knows people anyway. I'm gonna go in. So I went and looked him up, and when I found out he got 3 Grammy Awards 2 years ago, and he's written like over 50 songs, and he's collaborated with over 50 different genres of people. I said, he is, and his song that he got it from was In My Room. And when you listen to the lyrics, it says, I pray, I cry, I think about all the things that I need to be doing in my room. And to this day, he's in the UK and he lives with his parents. And so I was like, you know what, Pat, you need to settle down. You need to chill out. You need to spend more time alone, because I'm a socialite, and you need to be in your room figuring out how to do this stuff God called you to do. So by the end, before January was over, I had made a crazy decision. I said, I'm going to finish this book this year. It's going to be on Amazon. Forget about the traditional publishing. I'm going to start February doing my post every week on YouTube channel. I'm going to sing because I've always wanted to, and I'm going to get in a hotel by the end of the year where I'm singing 2 Fridays a night.
Come on.
And I'm going to do the sweetener.
Wow.
And somebody came to me and told me that they were starting. I didn't even know. And they were like, why didn't you tell me you were in? Because I had applied, but I didn't hear anything because my email got full, because everybody's Google emails are getting full. And so I just got fire under me. And when I got super clear that God gifts everybody with something, they just have to get in touch with it and figure it out.
You better.
I'm like, so I'm going for it. And if I don't make it, oh well, so what? But I tell you what, I done lost my mind. And I'm probably not going to find it until this year's over where I get all these goals done. So I do have repositioned the singing thing, because the sweetener thing is going to take over way too much of my time. I'll do the singing thing around the first quarter of 25. But that's how I got the fire. And so now, people have discouraged me. Xylitol is the main product and the ingredients, and they're like, that kills animals. And I'm like, okay, but chocolate can hurt an animal, and if you leave your medicine in the touch of the children, they could get poisoned and die. All those things, but it's always going to be something. It's always going to be something.
Listen, and we're time.
Yeah, that's a powerful message. So it sounds like a lot of God, a little crazy, and here we are today.
Sum that up for us.
No pun.
You are crazy when you're following God. Okay, people don't think that they think we follow God and it's just simple.
Next week.
Yeah, it's like you're God. Okay, but I just want to say thank you for sharing your story. It was very inspirational to me. I almost cried, because those are the things that I was battling with myself. So thank you for sharing that story. And I'm gonna head out, but I dropped my phone and I seen this thing down here that said, I want my world to change. And if that ain't a confirmation from God, I just could not let us go without saying that. So thank you, Miss Pat, for your story.
Wow.
Thank you, Jalil, for making this happen.
I'm sureJalil will be back.
He's going to be back every Thursday.
Miss Pat.
For sure. Oh, Miss Pat's coming back.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
Oh, she's stuck with me. We friends now. You locked in, Miss Pat, because my story is similar.
Thank
and
you
you just inspired me to get it together.
Clean Green Loyalists. Thank you guys.
Yes.
Chris Perry, no handsome boy.
Handsome boy, Chris.
See you guys next week. Hey, Darian. Come on, Darian.
Can you put it back?
No, never.